Celestine from US. He will share with us some experience from America. Our next will be Madame Beatrice, the Vice President for Rotary Club. Then our moderator will be Madame Patricia. Let's start the meeting. Over to you, Mr.
Yes, my name is Celestine Tisha from the United States of America. I've worked with a series of companies in the state, corporate companies like Publix supermarket, Toyota company of Newnan in the United States, worked with Zaxby's in the United States, worked with McDonald's, and worked with another franchise called, let me get this name. If I'm not forgetting, it's a Donkey Donuts for a couple of weeks. Okay. So to go straight to my American experience, not begin with questions and answer here, to enlighten you on things that I've been able to acquire until I get to the United States. Like what the chairman was talking about, the introduction here, like to introduce, that is the first thing. You are supposed to get up to the standard to introduce your guests. That mobilize the people that are close to you to pay attention to what is going to take place or what is going to explain. Secondly, my background experience in the state is I've worked for this company, especially a company that till today, I will never forget in the histories of the state, like company like Publix, Toyota. Those are corporate companies that they've been able to inspire me to know a lot of things around the world. That can make me travel any part of this world, thanks to the experience that I've got from these companies. The first experience is that you need to apply for, if you apply for a job, okay. First of all, they need to inquire what it takes. Do you have the means to get to the job site? Are you qualified to work in the United States? Okay. Are you a green card holder or a citizen of the United States? These are the requirements that makes you to somebody that is qualified to be legally employed in the state. Yeah. The other thing is for you to be able to express yourself. You need to express yourself. You must know how to express yourself. Yes. And secondly, you must have the means, like having that zeal, like talking to people without no fear or favor of something. And you should be able to have the smiling face, give the smiling face to your customers, because customers, when they are coming to the job site, yeah, this is going to play a lot about what is happening here, because we said Cameroon style. When you are into business, it's not a playing issue here, because if you are being hired for a company, well, there are many people that are in need of this position. So you're supposed to express what you don't know, because they assume that you don't know. They know that coming from your background, even you grow up in America working for a company, different companies have their policies and procedures. Yeah, they don't have the same policies that you may take. So you need to come in and be able to train. Like I think the chairman has done this with you guys. You guys have gone on the training before maybe getting positions or be able to lead. Okay. Like for instance, he was saying, sometimes he will say, repeat this. That is how things work in the United States. It doesn't mean whether you are big. They don't compare comparison with the United States. As far as business is concerned, you need to just be yourself if you want to learn, because in the state, there are two things. Either you are willing to learn or you are not willing to learn. There are just two things. If you are willing to learn, what is going to happen is that they are going to take you to places. You are not going to tell them. If you feel that is the best thing to pretend, you pretend better because they know more than what you think that you are trying to do.
All right.
So if you are
may I intervene here? Okay. If anyone is in this training and he thinks is serious, I suspect that everybody should have a pen and a paper, a pencil, and when somebody is talking, I expect that someone in there should be writing stuff down. Take this serious. All right, proceed.
Okay, yeah. So the main thing about the United States is to know that immigrants that are coming to the United States, even American citizens that are in the state, they are supposed to follow the policies and procedures of their various companies that you want to work for. Because in life, you are supposed to do what is good for you. If you choose to work for a company, then you are supposed to follow their policies and be able to meet up with the standard of the policy. That is what you're being paid for. That's what you're being compensated for. That is how you are learning every blessed day. Because in the state, we have to understand this thing. You learn every day, every day, every day. You don't learn only from your elders, no. You learn even from the kids that are going to be coming in at this time because many of them are going to come in during the term holiday. The young ones have to come in. You train them. If you have been able to lead, the leadership that you have been transferred to you, you should be ready to transfer it to the next person. To the next person that has come to maybe a new person, because don't expect that person to know automatically with your experience for some time that you've been in the company. So you expect that person in America, they give room for 2 mistakes. America, they don't give room for, that is why you are being trained. That is what the chairman, what I'm saying him doing. I'm not talking here for favor of something. That is how things work. Either you are in there or you are out there. It depends on what you want for yourself. But just know if you are in there, you should be able to give something. Just equally, you are ready to get something. So, this time, you need to follow their policies, be able to, you learn every day, even you are team lead, because the people leading, they are shareholders in the company. That doesn't imply that you do things away because you are a shareholder. You follow the policies of the company. You follow the procedures of that company. And that is how you being promoted. The day that you're going to be promoted, it doesn't mean that you will not even know when you're going to be promoted. And you don't know, but this is going to be applied from the policies and procedures of the company that there are some people. Okay, I'm talking too much loud.
That's the way it should be. That's exactly how it should be.
I think they're saying that time is, we are out of time this time. So
somebody says out of time?
Yeah, that's
okay. Your your timekeeper says your time is up. Are you guys with me? I don't understand what Celestine is saying about time.
Just explain, I don't know.
Administrative Assistant, JRCCA, VHO, Patricia Andonge. What I am saying is that the meeting is scheduled for 1 hour and the meeting has an agenda with the role that I was given to play as a moderator. I am thinking that I have to remind any person who is up on the amount of minutes that were allocated based on the agenda. It is true that we did not follow the prayers, which were supposed to begin
with it. So when the PRO was talking, I look at it and say that he has a lot to speak, but at the end. But as it came, the first thing, I took it for the time of prayer, thinking that we will have to balance the time as we move on. So for us to be able to go through all the schedule that was on the program in 1 hour time, we have to remind people of their time as they are speaking. Thank you.
Okay, all right. The way you do this is that those are the rules that you set at the very beginning of your meeting. And when you are going to moderate, you will be able to give your speaker a time in advance so that when your speaker is up, he or she must be ready to meet up with that time. But if you have a main speaker, the main speaker is the one that will have the most majority of the time for that. So he must have sent to you the guidelines of what he or she is going to be talking about, which is what he had prepared you guys. And when he gives his introductions like this, because he should have a 10 minutes for presentation, and then the rest will be questions and answers, because your focus is on your main speaker. And then the rest of the people are participants learning. He's training you so that you learn what he's training, and then will be able to answer your questions and answer. Your agenda would have been out there. That's why I said before, you got to send your IT, your agenda, so that they'll be putting it online. So I don't know if you guys have that agenda up there, because I don't see the agenda. So I just rely on your main speaker. So he is right on target. So when he's speaking, your question will be, if you're following what he's teaching, question and answer will be focused on what he's teaching, how it relates to what you guys have in your company. Because the very beginning of this NGO, I explained that JRCCA NGO is model the United States standard. When I say model, I mean we are operating in Cameroon 5 zones in accordance with the United States model. And these are the things that we are talking about. If anyone cannot follow these steps, I don't care whether you are in Ghana, in Liberia, in Cameroon, if you don't want to follow this, you don't have a place in the JRCCA. So, very important. Everything we are doing here, this is a real life example of what you guys should be taking away from here to make sure that we are complying. Because everything that he has said is exactly what we've been training for the past 5 years. So the moderator, I got you, but make sure that you know who has time to speak, because we only have one person to be the trainer today. And then the rest of the people will be answering questions or getting clarifications. So far, I think he has presented more than enough that will go to the next segment, which will be questions from everyone around during this workshop here present. And I will recap what he has presented. He has presented, number one, from the very beginning, requirement to belong to JRCCA. Everybody knows the requirement. It goes to the very essence of your welcome letter. Everyone that comes to this organization is entitled to get a welcome letter. And at the bottom of the welcome letter, it talks about the requirements to become a member of JRCCA. And this is where Celestine actually started. How to belong to an organization, to a company. You have basic membership requirement. And if you have a new member that comes into your organization, you don't send that letter and expect that all that information is coming in there. You are not doing what is supposed to be done. Number two, it talks about communication. Communication is everything. This is what, if you cannot communicate, that's a problem. What are you communicating? The message, the policies and procedure. It talks about the very critical thing, customer service. which is what I tell you guys when I see you. The way you appear, the way you talk, the way you do things is everything. Customer service is #1 to everything. And I always make remarks to those when I see you guys do that. The hiring process, he talked about the hiring process. There are policies and procedures. Human resource managers are the one who hire. They are trained in law, policies, and all of you guys have been trained. The things that I've been training you around is basically like law, that you should know how to bring people into the organization. Explaining it's about law, following policies and procedures. And then the training. Training is everything. Every day you wake up, you are learning. And if you are not learning, not willing to learn, that's a challenge. Able to lead. We are equipping you to be able to lead. Lead means what? Leadership is everything. The things that we are talking about. Everything you do, somebody walks in there, the mindset that we are changing. Like I told you several times, folks, you got to change the mindset to be able to embrace this new outlook. Celestine talked about the requirement, the legal requirement. The same thing applies to you guys. For somebody to be able to be employed in the United States, talking from a legal perspective, from law, it's about immigration. First, you have to be a citizen of the United States, or you are an immigrant with a green card. If you don't have those things, those are the basic stuff that you have to. In your own case, you are looking at what is the person's resume, what is a person's reference, and all that good stuff. Those are things that are enlisted that you will tell anybody who comes to your organization. Look, in our organization, you come in there, you're going to be paying stipend to be learning this thing we are teaching you. And if you get that stipend, all the actions do SMART goal and do fundraising and all that good stuff that we do every day. Give room for mistakes. Very important. You will be kicked out of the organization if you don't follow the rules and regulations, policies and procedures. Shareholders, I say this over again. Chairman, who is the founding of the organization, Mr. Celestine, who is the founder of the organization, Ma Salome, Pa John, whoever, cannot disrespect the rules and regulations, the policies, the constitution of the organization. That's why I say stakeholders, shareholders, they will follow. So who are you, who is a member of the organization that would not want to follow the policies of the organization? So that is, the guy actually nailed it. So I just give a recap, because if I was attending this meeting like I'm doing, I'm taking down those notes. And I give a recap. So now he's done a wonderful training. This is training. So now the next phase will be questions and answer. Mr. Moderator, Madam Moderator, proceed.
Okay, we move now to the next phase, which will be question and answer. Just open the door. The first question is, what have members learned in JRCCA for the past 5 years since they were incepted at BHO?
All right.
How many fundraising?
Yeah, the president is opting to say something.
All right. Let me clarify this before you start going to question and answer. When they ask a question, please do not stand up and start saying we, say I. We are talking about personal responsibility now. So when a question is asked, make sure you are examining yourself and then answer. That is what is going to help you be able to lead. And when you answer the question, we are here to guide you. All right? All right. The first question.
I have a hand up.
Yeah, you know, if somebody has a hand up, you go ahead and make sure, caution, if somebody is going off the topic, you direct the person. Focus on this.
Just as you have earlier said that we are here on a learning process and we have our main speaker. So before we go to questions and answers, I think we should just, first of all, let him go through his training first before we get over to those questions and
Madam President, the reason I intervened was because you did not speak. That's exactly what you should have said right away. You would have called Madam Patricia and said, no, let him finish. Okay, and those rules needed to be explained way ahead of time. All right, proceed.
Okay, yeah, just in line with what we were just saying, sometimes the chairman can, or the president, within like there's a meeting, for some reason, she got the powers to change things around for some time. Like what the chairman is just saying, because there's a need. Sometimes there's order from above too to get to her. Yeah, because for a company to keep running, there is somebody up there that knows why certain things can be changed immediately. So those are some of the things, those are the powers of the lead, the team lead. Sometimes you were doing something, the team lead will decide that today you will do that. You don't question at this time to tell the team leader, no, this was my responsibility, because you are working for the same company. As far as you are doing what is included for the company to keep running, then sometimes the team lead have to change maybe your position to get to another position as he can. For some reason that if you need be, you want explanation, that should be later, not within the time frame that he's telling you to do whatever he's telling you to do. Okay. So to go from there to like what we are running here is an organization, like we are talking about the goodwill basket here. Yeah, this is something that you know, I don't know whether it sounds so strange, but a little bit of background about all this goodwill basket is we are running a company, and this is an organization targeting the population that are in need. Yes, we are doing selfless service here, targeting those who are in need. Sometimes it doesn't mean that when people are in need, they only need money or food. But in Cameroon, we only know that when people are in need, they need just food or money to do whatever. No, sometimes there are people in need to learn. Because some people really understand that if they have to learn, because if you give something to somebody today, it happens that tomorrow you don't give, that person is not going to recognize what you have done. So for some people, they are willing to, like, learning is a process that you need to apply at this time. So that there are some people coming in, just first of all, to learn and understand the policies and procedure of whatever you're doing. Like going straight with a goodwill basket. It's not something new. If it's something new around us here, it's not something new, because if you've visited companies like churches are organizations that have people that are running. Yeah, that's why when you see around Yaoundé, there are a lot of churches. They are organizations. Yeah, but you know, in Africa, they will not tell us that it's like that. But I came from the source. I know how things are being run. Churches are being owned by families that started this thing for a reason, maybe for their vision, and then it comes to what they have to say. We are doing the work of God. Who are the people of God? We are the people of God, right? We are the people of God. So when they are doing the Sunday thing, when I was still very young, I asked my parents, what are we really doing about this? What is the money, this money that they are putting in this basket? Where is it going to? They said it's going to the needy. They help those who are in need. Okay. So when you go like to churches, what I'm saying is not something I'm doubting. I'm saying what you, maybe if you don't know, take it, and then someday you get it right. Yeah. So those are organizations, that money is going to help some people somewhere. they are helping either maybe build, extending some other changes. Just the same way this company can be here. Someday we can expand it. We'll have sub-companies, or have sub-companies under the organization. So this goodwill basket, there are people that are in Cameroon here, that if we are going to organize, they will come here because there are people that they know your time sacrificing for this thing. You cannot really be paid. Even to have water to drink. But that's what I was telling you, you wanted to think of having a water filter. That is the American standard that you are working on. That is when they say American colony. You need to be another example, because this thing cannot keep running because we are bringing in the Cameroon. Let's say you go like to business places. Why many people go to other business places and then they leave the old one is because like we have Nikki for instance. We got Nikki. That's an old business place that I knew in the longest time ago. About 15 years or 20 years back, was booming. But now we've had companies like Dove is coming. This is Carrefour is coming. Many of these customers, when you go to Nikki now, you will not get this customer there. Yeah, it's dry. When you want to check, you go check it out, like I'm saying. This place is different because there are some other people that are bringing something new in. And this model that are bringing in is the latest model that is inspiring customers to go gain the new product that are bringing in, the new things that they are bringing in for the customers. That's why if you are coming up with something new, you should be different from what has been on the ground. Yeah. So I understand, because these are the policies and procedures that we have not been able to follow, that's making us to stand still. And if we are standing still, it's going to be, that is, instead going to be better, many companies will be coming up. That will come, and then maybe will not have a place. And then at this time, you need to start asking our question. Why are we wasting our time? Why have we been wasting our time being here, and then we pretend to ourselves? And then instead that is to bring new things the positive way. We bring the negativity that we just wasting time. Because like I said, in America, time, 1 minute is a lot. A second is a lot. So if we are here to gain something and to give something to some people. Like we go back to customer service. Customer service is the first priority that you must align with the policies. Because if you are here to give out to your customers, to your clients. So you should do your best to be the first primary, that is the first priority, to give what is the best to your customer, so as to attract them to our scam. Like, we'll go again to the goodwill basket. Why maybe you people cannot even have, maybe that what we are talking about, the things that can keep you running. Because even the people that are sponsors, if they are Americans, they don't put money where they are not going to see what is the food that is going to come from there. Like anybody, not only for America. That's why there's a time, whatever thing you are doing here, there will be a time for inventory. There will be a time for inventory that will take place. And if this thing takes place, that is where it's not going to be decided by the chairman, because with the way they operate is, they don't even need to come and meet you in here. Whether you are the secretary, you are the president, the day they are coming, they can tell you to stand by or just sit in a panel. They come to pick these books. Whatever they are going to get from the book is what is going to promote you. What is going to, because they have their own ways to investigate, to know, is for the population. For those who are close to you, that will take you to a area. Like these things happen even now in the US. Sometimes you can hear what we know is envy about people. Yeah, those things take us to nowhere. Because the best thing we are supposed to do, like even in the States, you will see somebody's being promoted. They say, no, this person wasn't qualified, had the qualification. You don't know the criteria that they are taking to put in to hire that person because that person understands, he has learned, he has undergone training, and is following the policies and procedures of that enterprise.
Okay.
That is what is making that person doing the
Mr. Celestine,
customer service.
Mr. Celestine, let me clarify the example. You have talked about investigation. I have said 2 investigations in the BHO there, and I put Pa Ben in charge. If Pa Ben is in there, which I suspect he should be in there, so far he has not given me any report of that investigation. I'm not bringing Americans to do that investigation. I asked them to do the internal investigation. One investigation is about Mr. Veterans. The second investigation is about Loveline. And Pa Ben has not given me any report on that. That is an unacceptable behavior. So you guys don't think that what he's telling you is something different from what I've been telling you. When I ask you to do something, I expect that it be done. It is your duty to train everybody. I've said this over and again. Nobody, even Ma Salome can walk away with the property that belongs to JRCCA. And it is our duty, if we are in there, we make sure anybody that is doing this, just tell the person, you cannot do that. Comfort cannot walk away with the property of a JRC. I'm only lenient because somebody who came in there and removed the solar system from that, I'm telling you, the honorable place for that person is in Kondange. Kondange. I just make that very gently and so you don't mess with somebody's, that is an organization. Somebody, if you think that it doesn't matter, somebody out there, you are depriving somebody out there who must have been could benefit from that action. You can mess with anything, but don't mess with an organization. So the thing that Celestine is saying, 2 examples, I did not send anybody else from outside to come and do the investigation because something is wrong. Pa Ben was assigned to investigate any property that belongs to JRCCA. For example, there is what I can know in my head is this. Pa Ben and Raymond, who is the accountant, they're supposed to, this is what they call memory sticks. Patricia, do you know what a memory stick is?
Yes, Chairman.
Okay, that is proprietary rights of JRCCA that veteran has, and many more other things. Now, another thing, I gave money to buy a cell phone for the organization. Loveline had the money, Loveline had the phone. I know that there's pattern going on there. I don't know if veteran gave the information because this is pattern that came up from Tito, Comfort, and the veteran, and they think that because they just walk out, they do what they're gonna do. No, it cannot. It cannot. They will not go around. Just turn the things over. If you are living, leave the property. Everything, documents, everything that belongs to JRCCA, turn it over. So I want to make sure that what Celestine is doing there is very practical. And if you live by this simple thing, my friends, you guys will be, I can guarantee you, my president, if this is how you live your life to lead, you should not even have been there. You should have been right here with me, speaking to people. But because I just wanted to take this opportunity to bring Celestine in so he can give real life, so you know that that's one of you guys from there. If Celestine is really doing all this, and I'm confirming that, know that is business. These are things that we have been missing. Very simple. We just need to change the lifestyle and change other people. Stand right and tell somebody, no, I will not condone, I will not tolerate this behavior. Okay, proceed. I hope that makes sense. I want to bring to life the example because he's teaching this. It should not be like, oh, what he's just talking is something and you think it's something. No, it's something that I've been doing. Just gently making sure that and making us gain that knowledge to empower ourselves. Nothing bad in that. Only good can come out of good. All right. Celestine, so I just wanted you to know that what you are teaching there is not something they should not be thinking that somebody from us. It's all of us to do the right thing when nobody's watching. All right, proceed.
Yes. Yeah, like the chairman was just talking about the policies or procedures of the things that belongs to an organization. That's why I was telling you, it's just like a church. You don't go to a church, carry some of the things, and feel that because you have been there. Because I'm saying this, you know, some of you don't really still understand, and then maybe you will feel that, oh, church is being run by people like that. So,
Celestine, I'm sorry for coming in again. I want to bring home another example. Comfort, the former president, took the property of this organization, a play game, went and give it to my uncle, John Tendo. And when I send some of you, my volunteers from my company, JRCCA, John Tendong is keeping those properties. And then John Tendong, when he received you guys, he turned around and asked you, find a lawyer because, quote unquote, you guys are incompetent. Okay, all right. All right. So I'm the thing that I'm doing this. The reason I'm doing this is because I will make sure I enforce what they call the legal process. So the next thing I'm going to do here is this. My president and your team, I'm sponsoring you to, I don't know how far away you guys live close from John. It's not something, you're not fighting like you usually say. No, you simply go there and say, we work for Chairman Ni Gidi. Ni Gidi has sent us again, we are going to launch our farm project in Benguela. I don't want Celestine to be part of this, but I will bring Celestine in to do me some other thing. What am I doing? Bring me a lawyer. If you guys go to John tomorrow and say, Ni John, chairman, I say, give the property of the organization because he wants to kickstart his project. And if he say that thing again, in the next 24 hours, I'm filing a lawsuit. That will be, it has teeth, it will work. We work. So there's a difference between business. Do not live in a society where there is no civil order. Patricia, what is the meaning of a civilized society?
A civilized society is when somebody acts rightly.
Right? Okay, that's go ahead.
Based on the rules and regulation that has to be followed.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right, Mr. Celestine, I'm reinforcing his training to you guys. So we should not be taking his training as if it's some lectures and all that. These are things that are around us. So proceed.
Yes, I think when accordance with what you just said, the property of organization is not family. That is the thing, because like you guys are here, yeah, like our sister or mother, you don't come as a family member, saying that the property of organization, and then you confiscate it. But what we are even talking here about the John Tendon, I don't even know how that one has come about.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just continue your training. Don't worry. You shouldn't be involved there yet. Yeah. Just continue your training.
Yeah, I think yes. Let's round up the training session. What is the last thing I should talk about? It should be about being another one's keeper. Like you all of us are in here. We should be another one's keeper. Watch my back. Do it positive, not the negative part of it. because it's going to affect us. That one is in line, like what we are doing in here. It shouldn't make sense because you guys have to have these policies. In a company, a company is supposed to have the policies that the information about the company is not supposed to be sent out there to the people that doesn't belong to a company. Because if somebody wants to come gain the knowledge, it's good for that person. That's why you see people. Because that one is making sense, because there's a certain time, like maybe we do this thing we don't know. If you get information for company, you can bring good info, take good information out there. It's making sense. But when you bring the sabotage part of it, and then it's been, maybe someday it's been leaked out, you can have a lawsuit for that and you will be penalized. So anything that belongs to organization, if you are in there, that one I think is supposed to go under your policy and procedure. Because you don't take information, or you take people that are not in the organization and then you are even on the sky, you take somebody somewhere for some other, it doesn't matter. That person can gather information the way you want to give. But know that at the end, that person didn't know from the bottom to the top. That's where you find yourself in a pot of soup. So that is a very important thing that we need to know. You don't take information, and like the book that we are signing here, that is the register book. That book, if there's need be here that you need to call somebody for anything reasonable, you need to inform the president. You don't go into that book and then do things on your own, and then maybe sometimes it's not following the standard of your company. So there are a lot of things. If you doubt what you don't know, because it doesn't, what you don't know, because the president has a lot. If the president doesn't know what to do at a certain time, he or she know where to ask the question. It doesn't mean all questions from the president. The president must be with you people to get the information. That's why he can take decisions at a certain time. You just follow from the hierarchy that's coming up. So I don't think, let me not take much of a time. There's a lot to.
Oh, you have nailed it, Celestine. You have nailed it. You have nailed it. I just want to let me re-emphasize the last point you said. Be another one's keeper. Let me explain it again further. Be another one's keeper here. I want to continue from where Celestine ended. That means, as you are in that office, if you are in that office learning to be together, when you, for example, my president, you write your report, that you do a draft of your report, be another one's keeper. You turn it, give it to the president of the vice president of the SNT Rotary Club of Tyrone. Say, hey, Ubi, could you read this to me and make some correction? Yes. And then the vice president does that and then turn around and say, hey, administrative assistant, this is the president's report that she's going to present tomorrow. Can you review it and look through it? So that because once all that is the same thing, administrative assistant or general counsel person, you sit ahead of time, you talk together and do that particular thing. JRCCA promotes what is called, you guys call it negatively as copy work. JRCCA promotes copy work. If you do something right, you let the next person do that same thing, but differently, but correctly. We're working as a team. That what this last point that the speaker talked, be another person's keeper. He said it very clearly from a good standpoint that we work as a team. You do something, let the other person know to help you out, to review, so that when you come to the public like this, you're doing a presentation, you are already confident. It shows professionalism. Very, very, very important. Be another one's keeper. If you see me, I'm weak in this part, or I'm doing something here wrong, or you say to me, my president, this is not the way we should do it. Look at the policy in the Constitution. Look at the policy here. This is what you need to, oh, okay, is that right? Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to be doing it that way. Thank you. Be another one's keeper. My president, we are preparing for a meeting. Where is your this? Can we go over this? Vice chair, vocational tech. Are you ready for this? Oh, what can we help you? But that does not mean that you turn your responsibility to somebody. Is this point really clear? All of us, are we really understanding this? All these things, we should not even be going through, because these are things that a normal society should already be implementing. But the reason we are taking time to reteach, because we believe that everybody will learn every day, and being our brother's keeper or sister's keeper is the way forward, so that only 2, 3 of us who are here are going to be teaching the other people who are not here, because everybody who receives stipend is required to be online or at BHO or anywhere where he or she, you are now empowered to be able to do the same. And when you start doing that, that's how we're going to change our mindset. We're going to change our family mindset, change our community mindset, and be the leaders that are regarded as competent. All right, that concludes this particular training session. And now, moderator, you can now step in now with your questions and answers, because you have 15 minutes left.
Okay. Now let's move to the question and answers session.
Okay.
The first question.
Set the rules like this. You say, ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving to the questions and answers. We will give time for questions, 2, 3 questions to be asked. And I ask you that when a question is asked, everybody should be participating. Give what you understand. That's how you set the rules as the moderator. And then, boom, you ask those questions.
Thank you, Chairman. Before I proceed, on the agenda, it was told that they will use the complaint form, and to my understanding, the complaint form will carry the answers.
Correct.
To the question.
Correct. That is when you, the moderator now, whoever that question that is asked, you will make sure whoever is answering because those questions should have come in. You guys should have looked at the question, and then you frame your questions from those things, from the complaint form. Remember, this is training. We are continuously training you guys until such a time that you become equipped. So go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's move to the next session, which is question and answer. Everyone should give a response based on what he or she has filled on her complaint form.
Good job. Good job.
I take the first question. What have you learned for the past 5 years since inception at BHO? The second question. How many fundraising have been carried? Any experience with difficulties in raising funds, like refusing to sell tickets, refusing to invite friends and relatives, refusing to organize workshop at BHO? Where is the money from renting the chairs? Volunteers, members, please proceed.
Beautiful, beautiful, moderator.
I want to thank the moderator. To my understanding, the first question he asked about the fundraising, I will answer this way. The first fundraising by the former president, nothing had been realized. The second one, the same thing took place. After the fundraising, the manager in charge went without evaluation made. So nothing has been realized in our powers from the fundraising. That is my answer.
Okay, Okay, this is because we are doing real life. That is where Madam President, and then you say it, because when we do something and it's not complete or we need to correct it, you now have to come up with an action step to correct that. That's when you finish your answer, then you say, however, I'm looking forward to correcting these mistakes like this, like this, like this. That's real. You gotta, yeah.
I'm looking forward to correct this mistake that it should not happen again. Over.
By organizing the same thing, by organizing this, and
by organizing the same thing.
When I say the same thing, by organizing fundraising on this day, on this day, on this day, so that we will correct these mistakes. That's how you end up there. Since you took the first question very well, that is good. You just needed to push yourself as a president. Good job.
Something is it documented? What has happened in the past? Are you people keeping the records? Because sometimes if this thing you forgo this thing, they should be written like this person has been on board and he left with those type of things. You should have it in your record somewhere, because when you leave it hanging, it's not really good.
Yeah. Thanks, Celestine is the first one. The first one we know nothing about, but the second one we are having the records.
Okay, good point. So the first one you're talking about the former president, right?
Over.
You said the first one you're talking about the former president, right? Yeah. Yes. Investigations are still going on that one. That's how you say, because when you take over, you continue to the investigation still going on. Remember that the former president has been charged with malmis and non-feasance, so it's still ongoing. So it's not gonna end until we get a resolution to that. Good point. Good answer. Good articulation. All right, let's move on.
Yes.
Amen. We are in training.
We are just
join us. That's fine.
The next answers to the question.
We are in the training. I'm sure if you can join, that's fine.
From Madame Beatrice will come later because she just came in. She's not even aware of the agenda. So for now, I don't know if you have something else to say.
No. Patricia, you don't know. That is the vocational leader. Vocational leader. She is the SNT vice president of the Tyrone Rotary Club in Yaoundé. The vocational training. She's around. She has experience. She knows how to get information. She can respond for herself.
So the issue about chairs, renting of chairs, the first money that we rent, that came out of the chairs that we rent, we gave the money to the accountant. The second money that came out from the rent was given, it was Madame Loughlin who rents those chairs out. And we told her to give the money to the accountant. So we are going to investigate her, whether she has given the money to the accountant or she has not given it.
All right, Patricia, you see that a powerful report. That's how a report should be made. Very good. So now, Madam President, now it goes on to you those are lingering issues that you need to clean up. You can form a committee to find out from Loughlin, where is the money for the renting of the chairs? That's all you said, that inquiry. And you move on, and then you report. And you keep moving on.
Let us see whether Mr. Raymond is online.
Yes, he is joining us.
Can he answer?
No, he has not joined. He's still joining. He has nothing to answer. Ma Beatrice has laid it out there correctly. Ma Beatrice has clearly stated the first amount was given to the accountant. And that is what you are asking the accountant to acknowledge, that the first money for the renting of chairs was given to the accountant. You got to be specific. And then you go to the second one. You want to be clear when you are speaking. We want to be clear. Yeah. All right. So I think we lost Mr. Raymond. All right. So as it stands, we believe that Ma Beatrice is correct. The second point that she mentioned is that we need to find out if Loveline turned over that money for the second renting of the chairs. That's how she should come up, very strongly, like that. So how you do that, then it comes
to what the chairman is saying. The way this, because the way they are talking now, it sounds like people don't have that system on the ground. Because you're supposed to have a team, you know, like if some funds are coming, because that's the main thing about business, accountability. Accountability. Working for an organization, for a company, accountability. Because either you are living or when you are saving for the time that maybe you are tired or for some reason, some other people will take from where you stop. So you don't do things just away. This is something responsibility for the president to take this action seriously, to know that if there's something that needs that is a subcommittee to talk on this before you work, what you are supposed to come here is to give a report about the decision that you have taken. There's not the chairman, because the chair you can take that you can decide on something. The final person that is going to add something is the chairman, but you guys must play your part.
Okay, can I step in?
Yep.
Something here. When the last money came in, I gave an idea to you. When the money came, when she told us that she has rented those chairs out and they have given her the money. So I come up with an idea that they should buy an exercise book. They should remove 100 francs from that money and buy an exercise book. Every day that any chair is going out, they should write the date and the amount that has come in. And so that every time that we want to refer the amount of money that we have
accountability.
We have to look from that book and know when those shares went out and how much and then at the end of the year or at the end of the month, we know how much we have raised from the shares. So when I told her like that, she did not respond well. She wants to.
Okay, what are your policies that is inquired for something to go out of your office? What are you putting in place? Like the president. This question goes to the president and the team. Because these things, that's why the president is supposed to have an office at this time. Even there's no office, he's supposed to have somewhere for his own personal record. Yes. Because before
let me come here and answer the clarify certain things. Number one, the way Ma Beatrice had a good idea. The way that we've set the system is that when you have things like that, you bring it to the Tuesday as a SMART goal and action step. The reason why, because Loveline had to be doing what she's doing, because Loveline knows the SMART goals. Most of the people know how to do things. And what they do is that because they know how to do things, they always go around the other way around, try to make sure if you don't know how the way to do things, they don't correct you, but they figure out a way to block it, to stop it. So what Mabia would have done was to respect the policy, which was bring this to the SNT on Tuesday. Because you went and were dealing with Loveline, and that's where you guys are keep having problems with her. So if you brought it to the SNT, that would have been resolved. So from now on, the lesson learned is that bring that to the SNT. And once you bring it to the SNT, we'll vote on Wednesday, and nobody can go against that after we voted. So take note of that correction. You had a very good point, but you do not bring it to the SNT, because if you brought it to the SNT, all of us will have solved, nobody will be answering. However, we know the behavior that those who have left the organization is the same pattern, and that's what makes them to leave at the end, because they cannot do the right thing when nobody's watching. So shame on them. So you don't give up. Just learn from here. Now going forward. All right. So we move on to the next thing, because we got just basically 5 minutes to wrap this up.
That's what the chairman has just said. Because you are the people running this organization from this side. It's your duty to get this report, because you don't know which side this person can come from. It may bring you a lawsuit, and you will not expect the chairman that's supposed to answer, because you are the people running. That's what I'm saying. So you are supposed to have your report on file. That's why when something that is not right, because you don't know if somebody is leaving an operation.
Well,
you don't expect.
Well, Mr. Celestine, let me announce to this group that President told me that Mr. Veteran was threatening her with a lawsuit, that if she does not pay her, she will bring a lawsuit. So, Madam President, that's how serious this thing is. So that when we say this thing, I'm letting you guys know that we mean business. So if they're coming with that lawsuit, you gotta be prepared. And that's how you prepare with this. And I don't take their word for a sort of a cup of tea. They mean what they say. So the way you prepare is about making sure that take accountability of everything that they're holding. And we will have to be reaching out to them. Do not be afraid. All right. So we will give. We got two audience. We got two audience online. We will give a Patricia, if you wouldn't mind. I want to give opportunity for Mr. Raymond and Mr. Jethro to react or to say anything. Is that okay, Madam Patricia?
Yes, Chairman. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Raymond and Mr. Jethro, welcome. Okay. You people are coming in when we have done the questions, but we'll just ask you, if you were following, to give your contributions.
Okay, Madam Patricia, let me support your point by just giving a quick synopsis, a quick summary of what has been going on. They finally come in. It's better be late than never. So let me take this opportunity to remind them that there was a workshop that was organized by BHO. That is for everybody that belongs to this organization. That workshop was organized, focused on refresher training for leadership of JRCCA from zone 1 through 4 and 5 and the affiliate. And our trainer is Mr. Celestine, a legendary founder of JRCCA, who is also a resident of Fairburn in the great state of Georgia in the United States of America. Mr. Celestine brought in a world of experience, business experience, American business experience that he basically wanted to share with us so that it can remind us of the model on which JRCCA is set on. JRCCA is set on the United States model. The things that are happening, the way things are run, business is run in the United States, that is how we are going to operate JRCCA in Cameroon. The reason being this, since our main objective is to try to figure out to bring American way of life that makes them be more industrious, more civilized, more economical. We cannot bring everybody to America, but we want to bring the knowledge to our people back in Cameroon so that they too can be prospered. And so Mr. Celestine touched on his business experience, which is exactly embedded in what we have been doing. He talks about the requirement to become employer, which is what is founded in our JRCCA welcome letter. He talks about communication. If you are belonging to this organization, you will communicate 24/7. Communication, simple, keeping things up running. Communication is everything. If you're not communicating, that is a failure. He talked about customer service. We are here to serve two types of customers. Those in the remote jungles, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. That's where we develop our projects from. Those are the ones that we are supposed to be taking activity logs to them and making sure that the projects that we are doing are reflecting the farming that is being conducted in the area, the diseases and health sanitation that is being conducted in the area, the lack of roads that is being conducted in the area, and so forth. All those projects should be coming from them. Hiring process. JRCCA has a hiring process in place. Effective immediately, April 1st. We have been reminding people for years now that to become a member of JRCCA, you are required to register. I asked the president and the team to make sure you open up a book for every registration, every member to register. Go into your constitution, you look at the categories and then classify people in that order. And then we talk about the policies. These are the things that Celestine touched on from A to Z. Policies and procedure are to be upheld by everybody without exception. And then he talks about training. Training is everything. We train every day. And when you are trained, he talks about your ability to lead. Leadership is everything. Learning to learn, willing to learn is one other thing. And he also talked about the requirement to become employed in the United States, which basically you have to have a reason, documents to be able to do so. And then transferring leadership. Everything that you learn from JRCCA is supposed to be transferred to everybody all the way down to the zones. And then he also talked about the opportunities we give. We believe in second chances. That is why when you do some mistakes, we give you the second chance, the first chance, the second chance. Remember, we now have, as a leader, you have to make decisions. It is about time that JRCCA leadership start letting some people go if they cannot follow the policies and procedure. And the stakeholder, he emphasized that with JRCCA as a legal entity, no one, even the founders, can break the rules, policies, and procedure. No one. And then he said, towards the end, two things. One, let us be our brother's keeper or one another's keeper, meaning that what? We work as a team. If I do something, I can reach out to another person and say, hey, look at my write-up. Please do some corrections. Back and forth, vice versa. And then he ended up with continuity. Continuity, meaning that organizations will stay. People will come and go. So when you are in the organization, anytime that you feel like you want to leave, make sure you turn over everything, proprietary right, everything that belongs to the organization, and you go free, and we will say thank you. That is a recap of what Mr. Celestine kind of reminded us, kind of us the whole of this 1 hour. And you are coming in when we were in the questions and answer, which is being moderated by our administrative assistants, Madame Patricia, Miss Patricia from the BHO, who is also the AA for the World Headquarters. Madame Patricia, did I capture that?
Yes, Chairman.
And then this is what this is where she comes in, and she asks you to give your reaction based on that training that we just received. Over.
Thanks a lot, Chairman. You are wonderful. Always been wonderful. Want to appreciate you for giving me a synopsis of what has been, you guys have had trainings from Brother Leslie. And I want to extend my gratitude to Brother Leslie. I think he has just hit the hammer where he's supposed to be hit. And I pray the nail goes the right direction. I will not have much to say. The training that you people had over the weekend, I could not. You guys know that I'm a bereaved, and I was busy doing the arrangements because this Friday we have the week keep here in Douala. That said, all one Brother Celestine taught us on. I'm saying taught us because I'm part and parcel of JRCCA. So if he teaches others, he has equally taught me. I think there are salient points that even when I just joined JRCCA, I usually say communication is the key in every society, even in marriages. A marriage couple that don't communicate, there are bound to be issues. So communication, to me, I'll pick out communication, that communication is the key to each and every organization, to each and every society. If communication is not flowing, then everything is going to be grounded. That said, I just joined when the president, Maros, said I should answer a question. I don't know why she asked, she said I should answer the question. I think if anybody joins us, we need to welcome the person before asking the person to answer a question. So I'll throw the question back to Rose, that please, can you tell me why you asked me the question, that I should answer the question of, I don't know what it was on about chairs or something like that, please? Or what you, my president, before I continue?
Thank you. It was Mabia, so she can come over now, not Marcus. Over to you, Mabia.
Chairman, the question was about the issue of chairs, the money that we raise from the chairs. So we said that the first money that we raise from the chair will give the money to you. So we are doubt whether the second one they have also given the money still with the man of faith. We don't know. So that you are the one to answer on that case.
Yes, can you recall how much it was? Because I wrote it down in my diary. If I go back to my diary, I'll be able to give a recap. But can you give a glimpse of, because it was the monies that Pa Ben rented chairs, if I'm not mistaken. So I think if I go back to my records, I'll be able to lay hands on the amount. That said, I'm sorry for being on the voice, on the audio because it is more fluent in audio. When I was video, lines were breaking. Even as Chairman was talking, the lines were breaking. So I think I'll get back to my records and I'll present it tomorrow during the SNT meeting because I know I'm going to attend the SNT tomorrow. From now henceforth, I think I'll be attending all the SNTs and all the business meetings. That said, I want to thank again Brother Celestine, thank Patricia for the great work she's doing. Thank everyone who attended training. And I pray that we take at least 2 points home. Each person should make sure he takes home 2 points for the betterment of JRCCA Cameroon. Once more, I want to thank everyone and thank everyone. Thank everyone. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. We'll move now to the next session, which talks about the templates.
Okay.
The sample of the template.
Madam Patricia, you have another participant online. You might want to give him opportunity to react. Mr. Jethro.
Thank you, Chairman.
Vice.
Mr. Jethro, over to you.
Mr. Jethro, you got to unmute before you speak. So you are muted. Oh, Mr. Jethro, you gotta unmute. Go to the unmute button on your left-hand side at the bottom. Yep. And then you can speak. When you unmute, then you can speak at any time. So we are moving on with the interest of time. We got to wrap this up, but at least we got the clear message. Mr. Jethro is one of the first leaders in this organization who have finally done what we have not been able to do for the past 5 years. Mr. Jethro, I want you to unmute your phone and then speak at one point. One of the critical things that JRCCA faces was collecting or training the indigenous people on how to fill out activity log so that they can get paid. Mr. Jethro, over the weekend, last week, together with the executive director, Reverend Pastor Walters, they work with the indigenous people in Zone 1. They fill out the activity logs, 20 of them. And that is why those people on the ground are happy recipients of their first stipend, 20 of them. And Mr. Jethro was able to take the activity log, sat down with them, and 20 of them fill out the activity log, and they are receiving their stipend on time. And you can rest assured that work still need to be done on the activity log. We need to be hiring human resources at the level of every zone so that they will type what is handwritten, so that when it comes all the way up, it will be professionally written. That is a job opportunity for him. Mr. Jethro, can you still unmute and then tell us your plan? All right. Anytime you can step in. So Patricia, you have the next 5 minutes to wrap this up.
Thank you, Chairman. Let's move now to the next session, which talks about the templates. The templates that was designed by the chairman after the training from the SNC meeting on the 27th of March. Is anyone having any experience or difficulties using that template? The templates were on the forum for everybody to see.
Well, that's a question. If a question is asked, you are there, 2, 3, somebody should say yes, no, I did not see it. Why not communicate? Okay. Do they even know the question? If you're in the meeting, you don't understand something, respond. I do not understand. I understand. I did not do this. It's a simple, straightforward question.
Yeah, I did not understand, so I don't even know the...
Okay. Because
my own silence is because I was not here.
Okay, so the reason we have forums, is so that whether you are in Accra, Ghana, whether you are in the United States, the forums are made to take you to where you are, whether you are in Tonoko. So everybody, participation, attendance, is recorded on forums. Everything is on the forum. It's meant so that everybody anywhere can participate. So the very, very, very last thing we are talking about is that template. The very, very last thing we're talking about, that template. I'm glad that Patricia ended up with this. The template has been the problem. The template has been the solution. This template is the solution to the chronic problem in this organization. That template is about you setting smart goals and action steps every month. My president, what is the policy on writing smart goals and action steps every month? I need you to explain. That's where we're going to end.
Over.
So
again,
the template that Patricia, the template that Madam Patricia talked about, is that template is a solution to the problem that the organization is facing for people to do smart goals and action steps. That template is the template that will solve everything. It talks about setting 2 SMART goals at the beginning of the month. One of the SMART goals will include how to raise funds and actually to raise funds. Then I asked the president to explain what will happen if that policy is not followed. SMART goals and action step at the beginning of the month. I want the president to explain.
Thank you. That policy, that template means that each week that we are coming for SNTD, that each person or each member must come along with his or her goal and action steps. If not, he will not have the stipend. Okay. Or you have half of his stipend.
There is no O. There is no O. Okay. Patricia, could you step up and help here?
Yes, Chairman. It came to conclusion by the chairman today that this is the last month that people receive 50% of stipend. No goal and action, there is no stipend. Henceforth, because since March, no fund was raised. Since the month of January to March, if I can recall well, no fund was raised. So this is the last month that people are benefiting from 50% of stipend. Henceforth, no SMART goals and action for fundraising, no stipend.
My president, I need, let it come from your own mouth. Your administrative assistant had really, really nailed it. I need you to repeat it exactly that way. And this is what people have been expecting from you. Repeat what your administrative assistant has said.
From the month of March, people have received their half of their stipend because of no, excuse me. They have not received.
Keep going. Yeah, keep talking. Yeah, go ahead. Don't. Yeah.
That the month of April, nobody will receive stipend if not writing your goal and action steps.
Listen,
but
listen,
the month of March,
Madam President, listen. Patricia, I want Patricia to come back on stage. Say it gently, and when she say it gently, you will repeat after her. So that is how you gotta be clear in communication. Patricia, go ahead. Let her say it gently.
It was noticed that from January to March, there was no fundraising.
My president, Patricia, make it in such a way, let the president be saying that. Exactly like that, clearly.
It has been noticed that, from January to March, there was no fundraising. Nobody brought in any SMART goal and action step. This month of March is the last month that people receive 50% of their stipend. From April, no SMART goal and action, no stipend.
No SMART goal and action step, no stipend.
Thank you.
Okay.
Over.
Okay. That is it. Straightforward. And that concludes our training. I want all of us to be able to. I want all of us to give thanks to the trainer of today, Mr. Celestine. And we will be having our meetings tomorrow, the SNT meeting tomorrow. And we will continue, and I will give the chance for the Vice President of the SMART Goal and Action Step, Chairman Goosen, to be able to continue training, and we continue to move on like this. It's been a wonderful opportunity, but I would just like each and everyone to quickly give their closing remarks before we conclude. Moderator, that's how you want to end up with that. Conduct that from there.
Yes. Now we'll go to closing remarks. We'll begin with the guest speaker, Mr. Peter Celestine, the PRO of JRCCA.
Yes, it's an honor for me, Celestine, once again, to be part of this session today. Which I will want us to put it here in bold writing. Teamwork is the way forward. So, not having much to say again, let's deliberate and have it on this one. Teamwork, we will put it boldly. We need an artist to do that, because as far as we have that in here, will also remind us on teamwork, and teamwork will go places, will make things happen for the better of ourselves and the better of others. So, over.
Ma Beatrice. Over.
Thank you, moderator. This meeting is a very interesting meeting, workshop. Very interesting workshop. I've gained a lot, adding to what our chairman always trained us. So I add more and remind me for the other one that was thinking of that day. So also I want to say that I also write my own goal and action step, and I have not yet seen I gave my goal and action step, but they have not approved my action step. So I don't know how to continue another one, to write another goal and action step. I don't know. I think the chairman will clarify us tomorrow, because of now time is going on. If you write your goal and action step, you have not have the reply, you write another one like that. I'm sure will clarify us tomorrow.
Okay, I think let me add something to that. What my saying, that is how it's supposed to be. In companies, I don't expect results to come immediately. There are things that you keep writing. Keep writing. Let's say yes, you keep writing. Keep writing, because you don't know which one that's going to be. They don't do it the way we don't really need to know the criteria that they pick which one. But sometimes we do voting by ourselves to know and work with the chairman, but know that with companies, with organizations, they are not supposed to do it just the way you expect it to do, because you have done this one. Because they work with their partners. You don't know how that's a learning process too. You guys will look for a session to work with the chairman. What are the advantages if he's able to open it up to you, but of which those are under policies that they are not supposed to open up, just like that. So I think that's my own.
All right. Okay. To close that, the SMART goals, and I know Ma Beatrice has been a little was out. Again, SMART goals, nobody has yet known how to write SMART goals. So again, we are in the training session. So the reason I took the time to come up with a template is because we are trying to correct those mistakes and help you guys properly write. And there's still a lot that you guys gotta learn. You don't take a SMART goal to mean a proposal, okay? So SMART goals helps you to write a proposal. So if you write a SMART goal and you have not received any response, you are well trained that you communicate with me and say that this SMART goal has been, you don't go quiet and then you think that I know that there is a SMART goal that you have written and it did not come through. You ought to be communicating and following up through. But again, let me assure you that the SMART goals that you guys have been writing, if they are not written in the format, it does not help us. So your SMART goal has to be following the certain structure. I don't know if you have attended the training that the Vice President for SMART Goal and Action Step has been teaching. And that's what I decided. Yeah, the reason why I brought him up is because nobody yet know how to write a SMART goal. So we now have a vice president in charge of writing SMART goal because he's been teaching it. So I came up with that template that will help you. If you take that template and put your SMART goal following that template, you definitely will get an answer to that. So get back with me on that, what you have written, and then make sure you see if it follows that template. If it doesn't follow that template, the company is not required to follow what you think it should happen. All right, Madam Patricia, go ahead.
Yes, Madam President.
And let me add something here. Just, I just have this time. Okay, to approve a lot of all this quick and action step and to practice or to make things happen. The secret here is this. Organization will always like you to work as a team. As more members you have to show the proof that these are really the population in need. Those are the things that have come and see that we are really having a team still. We need to work mostly on this to bring more members in. That way, it's going to mobilize, that is, let the funders see that no, these people, there are a lot of people up here that are in need. But if it's not even going to at the level that, because it's taking a procedure to get to this thing, like I just said. There's a template that, because of what I was trying to find out, what are the criteria that are being in place for you people to approve something? Because all this will come, you can vote it by yourself, but sometime at the end, it goes to the hierarchy. And at that level, a lot is going to be done with the president herself. Do the findings with the team, and then there's a lot that you're really missing out. That you really need to still learn this thing before things start changing the way you are feeling. Because with Americans, man, it doesn't go the way we just feel that, I've been there. I'm not talking because I'm just saying that is just my own advice for us to benefit from this thing and to make this thing be a better one for the future, for the future people of around the world, not only for Cameroon, not for Zambia, but around the world. So that's it.
Thank you. The next is our youth leader, Mr. Naomi. Stand up and share your own contribution.
Oh, Patricia, you want to call her your student. Don't call her sister. It's your student.
Chairman.
Yeah.
My pleasure today. I'm very happy because what is going on is giving me a lot of experience so that it can also help me in my book work. I'm so grateful. I've learned a lot of things, and I'll be wishing to bring some of my friends so that they can be able to join us here. And I'm also praying that people should pray for me because I will be writing my this evening here. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll do it this afternoon.
Over. And next is Mr. Ruben.
The meeting has been a good one, so we always pray God to enter our meeting every time we meet. Thanks.
Okay, now it's my own turn. What I want to say is that the meeting was a good one with a light shed on many areas. I would just want to plead with all of us here that we should be determined to actually put it in application as a team. Thank you.
Well, my reaction to you, Patricia, you got to be able to monitor this, and you got the back of the constitution, the policies, and the leadership. Monitor it, nurture them, and when somebody wants a little caution, do it. No problem, no problem. for people to come back to me and say, hey, Patricia did caution me on this. If I see that, I know there's progress. If I see somebody's frustrated coming back, oh, the moment I start seeing that, you are my eyes, everybody is our eyes of the chairman, because from this training, this is the last training. If you cannot live up to the expectation, we should be able to say, thank you for your service, and then we bring in other persons. All right, Patricia, you got one audience online, Mr. Raymond, I think, did he give his closing remarks yet?
Not yet, Chairman.
Yeah.
Not yet.
We are not yet through in the BSO, so after that we go online.
Yeah,
Okay.
Madam President, if you are talking about yourself, you should be the last person to speak, conclude, as a president from there. So if that's you that you want to speak, I will suggest you give a place to Mr. Raymond. So you listening and then tie it up.
Yeah. Over, Mr. Raymond.
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Patricia. Above all, thank you, Brother Celestine, for what you have enriched us with today. Good night.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Jethro.
Okay, I think it's my president.
The next person is Mr. Jethro.
Yeah, I think still... Mr. Jethro, he dropped off.
Okay.
Okay, one quick thing before, I'm very sorry about this. This is the report about the issue about the MTN issue. I get to someone because we were supposed to be there with the president today, but I deem it necessary that I make a call before we come and go. So I get to the person, Mr. Aibu, that was there. He has transferred a line for me to get in touch with the general manager of MTN. He told me, spoke with him. He told me he's in the meeting. He's going to get back to me during the day, but unfortunately, I haven't heard from him. So this one is has required me with the president to see that maybe tomorrow will be at MTN to give a full feedback tomorrow evening.
So what's your reaction, Madam President? You need to react to that right away.
Thank you, Mr. Celestine. We'll see about it tomorrow. So, over.
I expect you something a little bit stronger, Madam President, because you and I had discussed about this. That's not the kind of response I needed from you. We will go there tomorrow, and that should be our last day to go, because we are spending money back and forth. We need to have a closure. How do you do that?
Thank you, Mr. Celestine. So tomorrow is our last day because we have been spending money to and fro day. So if they don't respond to us tomorrow, seriously, we'll take a lawyer and we'll have the next step to take. Over.
That is how you respond. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's wrap it up. Okay, I think BHO is frozen so far. So we will basically wrap this up with a few things. And number one, I appreciate Mr. Celestine for this training. I appreciate everybody should know that somebody like Mr. Raymond, he is one of those professionals that we are still struggling for the BHO team to come to the level of professional so that we show respect to people like him, because they know what they are doing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this particular refresher training. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon. And bye for now.
Bye-bye, Chairman.